Today I gathered the most insane and funny Slavic stories. Make yourself comfortable and let's start it. Today our children know who dangerous people are and what to do if a stranger approaches them. But here's a story from my childhood. As a millennial, but still gives me chill. It was 1994. I was 8 years old. Back when, parents didn't really ask where we were or what we were doing after school. The main things were to study well and house is clean when we come home. So my friend and I often hung out near a construction site by the Volga River just to feel cool and grow up. Around the construction site there were huge piles of sand and almost no people around. In our child imagination, it feels like an adventure. Sometimes we imagined we were in desert, sometimes on the North Pole surrounded by snow. One day a man came to us. He looked like a normal drunk father or someone from our school. Nothing special or scary at first. He asked, "Girls, have you seen my dog?" We knew all the local dogs, because animals were our biggest love. He said he thought it was his Dalmatian. Remember, it was 1995. After the cartoon, all kids were crazy about this breed. When he added, "If you help me to find it, I will buy you a lot of Kinder Surprise eggs." That's how easily children can be tricked. A popular thing they love, plus a children's imagination, and suddenly you are following a stranger. Two good students were walking with unknown men toward an abandoned area. My friend was walking in front of me. I was behind her, and the man was leading the way, moving the tall grass aside for us. And then something changed. The excitement about the promised reward disappeared. I suddenly had a very strong feeling that something was wrong. I quietly whispered to my friend, "Let's run away." She felt it too. In the next second, we jumped out the grass and ran as fast as we could across the empty field towards the road. The man was not expecting it. He got angry, started shooting back words, and ran after us. But fear gives us incredible energy. We ran faster than we had ever run before. Near the road were the garage. We managed to escape and hid in the grass between them. From there, we watched him. He was angry, shooting, cursing us, and searching around the bushes. I will never forget his eyes. At one point, it felt like we were looking at something truly evil. When he finally left, we were terrified. We promised each other that we would never tell anyone about what happened, especially not our parents. About a month later, the whole city was shocked about terrible news. The body of an 8-year-old girl from nearby school was found in that same abandoned place. She had trusted the same monster. We found him later. It was a local plumber who was recently been released from a prison for the same kind of crime. We were incredibly lucky to survive. The only thing that saved us, it was our intuition. How to survive in a mental hospital. A survival story. Spoiler, almost nowhere. On July 9, I got into a fight with the police in the subway. Because of that, an ambulance took me to a mental hospital. I spent 21 days there, and I really have something to tell you, so you don't make the same mistake I did. So you're in a mental hospital. The first and most important thing to do is to sign with paper that says you agree to treatment. There is no really other choice. If you refuse to sign, they will still treat you, but not because you agreed. It will be by a court decision. Before we take you to your room, they will bring you to the shower. You will have to take all of your clothes. Yes, even your underwear. A hospital worker will wash you. He is not some huge scary guy from a movie. He is just young, strong man. Here you need to stay calm. Don't scream, don't fight, don't make it hard. If you get through the shower calmly, everything after that will be much easier. If you don't, that's your problem. They will wash you anyway, but they might use force. They might even tie you down. Next comes to the hospital room, where you will meet your doctor. Be as friendly, as calm as you can. After you talk to the doctor, your whole life will have one goal: getting out of the hospital. The doctor will see you every morning during rounds. And here is the important part: stay in control. Answer questions clearly and shortly. You need to leave a good impression. Also, contact your family or friends as soon as you can. Ask them to bring underwear, socks, pajamas, or a robe on the same day. If they don't, you will wear hospital clothes. and some else underwear, and don't forget a phone charger. Living in a mental hospital takes patience. Even for someone with strong nerves like me, it was not easy. Never argue with anyone. Put your ego away. The less attention you get, the better. Take the pills your doctor gives you. Nobody wants to give you extra medicine. Nobody wants to turn you into a vegetable. Everyone just wants you to stop making trouble for a doctor and go home. Don't think you're special. From what I saw, the people who believed they were Napoleon stayed in a mental hospital longer than anyone else. They will take all your things, including your phone, and honestly, not being able to talk to anyone is the worst part. They give me us our phones for only 15 minutes in the evening. Only phone calls were allowed. Text was not. Those rules were pure torture for me. Don't ask, never demand to be set free. Saying that you are normal and not mentally ill changing nothing. Your doctor hears that every single day and probably has to work hard not to lose patience. About Napoleon, you are not him, but I did meet the woman who said she was Pavel Durov Finance. She was in the next room. If you want to live sooner, follow the daily schedule. Don't fight with the staff, don't flirt with the nurses or doctors. It looks sad and it does not help you. Don't flirt with our doctors who came to see you either. Yes, I like the therapist too. He had a nice haircut and happy eyes, but still not a reason to ask him out. Every ward has a special room. Patients with very serious psychosis stay there. It's a sad place. A patient in that condition might hit you, and they will not be punished for it. Who are these patients? What do they look like? How do they act? What do they want from you? You will see for yourself. You won't miss them. Let me tell you a story about one of my completely crazy friends who lives abroad. One day he was driving from San Diego to Vancouver because he was planning to move in with a friend. On the way, he decided to spend the night at his ex-girlfriend's place. The next morning, she left for a class and she asked him to lock the door when he left. The lock could be locked while the door was open, and when you just stepped outside and closed it behind you. He packed his things, got to his trucks, and was ready to leave when he suddenly realized he didn't have his phone. He immediately started panicking. When he got to Vancouver, he needed to contact his friend, but he didn't remember his phone number. In fact, he didn't know anyone's number by heart. So the only option was to somehow get back into his ex house. He walking around the building, looking for a way inside. It was a row of almost identical townhouses, and the only window he could reach were in the back. They were too high to climb through without a ladder, and of course, he didn't have one. What he did have was a pickup truck with a covered back, so he parked it under one of the windows, climbed onto the roof of the truck, and tried to open the window. He had to do it quickly, because from outside, he looked exactly like some random guy trying to break into someone's house in broad daylight. Luckily, the window was not locked. He opened it and climbed inside. A few seconds later, he almost had a heart attack. Running through the rooms, looking for his phone, he suddenly realized this was not his ex-girlfriend's house. He had climbed into a home of completely strangers. He got deeply picked the wrong window. Thankfully, nobody was home. He ran straight to the door and got out as fast as he could. His heart was pounding so hard so he thought he might actually pass out when he walked in after his ex front door and realized he had completely forgot to walk in. The door has been unlocked the whole time. He never needed to break into anything. He had broken into a stranger house for absolutely no reason. Honestly, he deserved jail time, if only being the biggest idiot on the earth. The husband of a woman I know moved to Montenegro, while she stayed in Moscow region. After a few months, she decided to visit him. She flew, like many people do nowadays, from Istanbul. The flight included a transfer with a charge of airports in Istanbul. Of course, she has already gotten drunk at the Moscow airport, continued in Istanbul, and finished the job at the second airport. She slept for about an hour, when found her gate and safely got in a plane. But suddenly she realized that she had her left suitcase in the waiting area where she had been sleeping. The plane was ready for takeoff, but my friend decided to create a huge scene and demand her suitcase back. In the end, they actually tied her to seat, and when she arrived in Montenegro, her husband was waiting for her, along with the police, who politely but firmly took her in a holding cell. Her husband noticed that she was taking too long and went to find out what happened. While he was trying to understand the situation, she managed to punch a hole in the wall of the cell and even get into a fight with a police officer. Basically, she almost destroyed their little jail. When the police finally understood what this was her husband or what crazy woman, and realized they had a perfect chance to get rid of the problem quickly before anyone else got hurt. They simply charged him a fine of a few thousand euros and let her go, without even putting any marks in her passport. For a whole 2 weeks of the vacation, my friend kept wanting to bring the police officer at least a cake, because, well, they are such nice guys. They let me go after all. And her husband spent those 2 weeks explaining. They already remember you for the rest of their lives. They don't need a cake. Why would you want to give these people another heart attack? On the way back, she had the same route, through Istanbul, with the airport change. Without expecting anything, she went to a lost and found office, and unbelievably, there was her suitcase. You should live your life, so that your friends tell legendary stories about your adventures. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. Put a comment, put a like, follow if you like it, and bye. Have a nice day.